the stigmatism is that they are heartless and are disconnected from society, so to say, that even the outside is able to look through the presentations, the little snippets that they get, and they're able to see that humanity exists here inside of prison through the efforts of the guys that are here.
What it brings to San Quentin is it bring about hope. It give men's hope, you know, men's that throughout the years done told theyself over and over again that they've been forgot about, you know, and that their talents was dead, you know, due to the years of confinement and whatnot. So it bring about a sense of hope, because a lot of individuals I know that I was at other prisons with, when they saw me do that, they said, well, you know, if you can do it, I know I can do it. You know, because you the most coolest dude ever. And if you can come out yourself like that, I can do that, you know. So when is the next one, you know? How could I get in there? So it brought about a sense of hope to them individuals.
Shakespeare not only gives me a sense of community with other people that I don't know, but it also gave people here a sense of that community, a sense where people can sit next to you and kind of feel safe, and that you're not going to jump on me, you're not going to do anything. Well, and so for me to see that was really great, and to hear that from people was like, wow, they were just awed at being able to sit in there amongst a lot of outside people.
It helped me open up to other races. The other prisons I was at was real, you know, there was no bonding between races. So here I was able to open up to other races, mainly Caucasian, you know. So that was a good thing. Changed my mind frame about that.
And some of the men might come in here for the wrong reasons, but once they come in here and realize that, you know, you have to get on stage and you have to open up and develop, you see those that aren't real fall away.
I'm paying attention to myself, something that I've never done. You know, I was always told by others, this is what you're doing, this is what you look like. And if it was something that I liked, then, you know, I expressed that. But if it was something that I didn't like, then I just ignored it. So it causes me to pay attention to myself, and then to pay attention to other people and to have empathy for them.
One of my identifications with my character was killing. And I had to take a look at myself and say, well, if I'm going to have sympathy for Claudius, I have to have sympathy for me. Okay, I have to have Claudius be loved by Gertrude. Okay, I have to love Claudius. Okay, and I had to get past that, you know, in order to do as much as I could with the part.
Doing Shakespeare, I learned about, you know, what revenge does. That's why I wrote my piece about revenge, because I know I was vengeful. And then learning how obsessed Hamlet was with revenge and got everyone killed, I could see how it had destroyed my life. But today, I'm no longer that person.
There was a lot that actually came up for me at that, when I was writing everything and just having to go over everything and remember, you know, specific times in my life, some of which I'd probably rather not remember. And, but actually being able to express that, to share that with everybody, and not, you know, like I said before, not worrying about what they're thinking, just being honest with myself and with everybody else.
In contrast to my old self, I think they noticed the change. Sometimes I don't even notice the change. You know, they notice the change before me. And they always, you know, comment on it, like, man, you know, you changed, you know, you're a lot different now.
And what was it like for you writing your original piece?
It was healing. It brought healing to something that I was dealing with all my life, which caused me to end up in prison at so young, caused me to be angry and do the type of things that I did. I didn't want to write it, you know. Ryan told me to write it. I was hesitating to write it, but I'm glad I did, because it opened up the doors to, it gave me more understanding about myself, you know, about why I ended up in prison, about, you know, why I chose the gangbang, chose the street life and all that type of stuff. It taught me something. And with that in mind, I wrote another piece, and every piece I write, it fixed something in me. You know, it brings my heart back together, you know, because all that pain that I've been dealing with, you know, was brokenhearted and disappointments and not being able to trust other humans and, you know, basically detachment issues. So every time I write a piece and I'm eligible to express myself, it heals my heart, you know. So I thank y'all for that, especially you, Soraya.
And this is a type of program that should be transferred to other prisons, you know, so we as men and women who are in prison can learn to connect with that which we became disconnected from. And I see that has helped me in a lot of aspects.
I saw this light in people's eyes, like, you know, they were exploring their own possibilities through us because we were willing to be vulnerable, we were really willing to put ourselves out there. And it brought like this certain humanity that a lot of us, I hate to use us, but for me, that I didn't feel for a long time.
It wasn't until 14 days later, after appearing in front of a judge, while still in juvenile hall, that I finally had a chance to see my mother. She sat to the left of my public defender, and I sat to his right. Not knowing the significance of this hearing or being aware that my life was about to change forever, I paid the sadness that lingered in the air, conjunction to this moment, no attention, while constantly leaning forward past my public defender, hoping to get my mother's attention while smiling to let her know that I was being strong and that I was happy to see her. Yet she stared straight forward at the judge while not even glancing my way. I could not understand what was going on at the time between this man who wore a black robe and this other man with this suit and tie on that prevented my mother from hugging and kissing me by sitting in between us. It wasn't until the public defender whispered in my ear, "Mr. Randall, please sit back," to when I actually started to pay attention to what the judge was saying to my mother. I vividly recall the judge uttering to my mother, "Mrs. Sims, I'm placing your son on 6 months of probation in your care. And if Mr. Randall violates any terms of his probation, his next vacation is going to be in the juvenile camp for the next 6 months." He then continued in his dialogue by asking my mother, was she aware that she could have picked me up within 3 days after I was brought to juvenile hall. I remember my mother clearly replying,
"Yes, Judge, I was aware of that, but I don't want Kamani no more. That's my son. But Kamani do not listen to me or to his stepfather. He do what he want to do. So you can take him wherever. I cannot help him. It is hard on me."
After hearing my mother, my hero, say she didn't want me anymore, I felt so betrayed and my heart broke that day, just as Hamlet's heart broke when he felt betrayed by his mother. And I too, such as Hamlet, was imprisoned by the thought of betrayal that anger once controlled my actions to the point where it drove me mad and landed me in prison as a teenager into this age of 34 that I am today. However, unlike Hamlet, no precious lives had to be taken to seize the anger that imprisoned my mind with the thought of being betrayed. Through forgiving, I was blessed to become aware of my mother's circumstances during my childhood and realized, by taking into consideration her own distraught childhood, her substance abuse, and being a victim to domestic violence, that the day she told the judge that it was hard on her and she could not help me was her way of soliciting help from the judge to place me within the system and hope to give me a better life than what her heart told her she could have gave me as a child. Therefore, for my mother being willing to subject herself to the tears that a mother sheds from the pain that a broken heart brings in regards to giving away a child, to give that child a better life, prove to me that my mother has always loved me, unconditionally, just as the queen loved her son Hamlet, in spite of her choice to marry King Claudius. In closing, all praises goes to God. God bless you all, and thank you.
I can't get into society again, you know, with that type of hurt up in me. You know, I don't think nobody wanna, you know, have anybody out there with that type of hurt, especially the hurt I was dealing with, you know, and I dealt with it for years and I act like it wasn't there, you know, I shut down, but I got a new way through acting. I got a new way of getting it up out of me to better myself, you know, and to be able to relate to other people in the world. Because when a mother abandoned you, when she abandoned me, I felt alone in this big world. You know, I didn't feel like didn't nobody understand what I was going through. So I detached myself from people and felt like I gotta just, you know, do everything alone. You know, I mean, because when your mother leave you, I mean, if your mother can't be with you, who else gonna be with you? So that was cool. It was a good piece, and I hopefully when I do it, it can help people out there, you know, in society to learn how to forgive and talk about them things and find a way to get that up out of them. Because we all dealing with something, you know. Everybody, you know, can't find a way to get it up out of them. So hopefully they can find their thing. You know, I didn't know acting was my thing. I didn't know that that's how it was gonna come out. But it came out. It came out good, and it's continued to come out good. So it's cool.